Here's Australia's Gavin Levy. His team has dealt with adversity. They'll get a couple of injured players back today to try to make it to the semi-finals. And for Team Japan, head coach Naofumi Suzuki played his collegiate lacrosse at the University of Tokyo. He's also the senior men's national team coach in Japan. So here at the University of Limerick, what a game this is. On paper, the face-off game for Japan, 18 out of 22 yesterday, led by the outstanding Yusuke Takeda. As we see Peter Davidson and his crew doing the honors, was lined up perhaps to really give the Australians trouble. But breaking news here, big news here ahead of this game. Yusuke Takeda out of this game due to illness for Japan. The outstanding face-off man. So Japan is going to face off with a pole pretty much the entirety of the game. That's Taisei Chikakane, who has some face-off experience from his university. He has not faced off once in this tournament. So a difficult blow to Japan, who is known for controlling tempo and controlling possessions due to Takeda. Aaron Hill facing off for Australia, and we are underway in our first quarterfinal. And we'll get a hold called against Japan. The winner will take on either Canada or Ireland in the game that follows this one. That'll be at 1 o'clock local time. Shun Ito, again making the start and goal for Japan. He started all 5. The first midfield for Australia with Mitchell Baker, Harry Gibson, Ethan Moyer. The attack with Edison Pike, Arlen Lim, and Ethan Buchanan. And Japan, a nation that they're aware of a zone, but they pride themselves on playing tremendous one-on-one defense as their main principles. Here is Lim. Australia had the day off yesterday after losing to the United States on Monday. The Aussies working around runs, and now Pike. And Pike with that speed element works on Yugo Tatamatsu, the close D, along with Tomoya Sodayama and Yusuke Nakamura. And with the ball on the ground, quickly picked up Ethan Moyer. Quick scoop there. Talking to Gavin Levy of Australia, what's key against a disciplined defense like this? It's more about great choices, playing simple, not forcing things. That's what Japan wants you to do. As Japan got the ball on the ground again, but Mitchell Baker recovers. Roll back Ethan Buchanan. Now Moyer, who's got the short stick D-midi, and Rakuto Yokokawa. Then outside, Ray Yamamoto defending on the dodge of Gibson. Save is made by Ito. And Gibson ends up in the crease. So Ito only making 1 save yesterday against Jamaica. He's matched that here on the first possession. Japan 4-0 through the tournament. They got a stiff test 2 days ago against Puerto Rico. Had to hold off Puerto Rico 10-9. Tatamatsu. The clear, and Japan to work against Josiah Bidwell Barton in goal at 6'3", 230 for Australia. He's been their primary goalie here in this tournament. The attack with Shuhei Otsuka, Sota Hakozaki, and Ryuta Ishikawa. The midfield with Tetsuya Yamada here, big physical presence, along with the quickness of Uta Kaigara and Kenshiro Kuroda. Yamada to goal, fought off there by Bidwell Barton. Well, Yamada yesterday, the fourth quarter was great. As you can see, he brings a different element for Japan. Probably goes about 6'3", 200 pounds. And he uses all of that. Talking to Naofumi Suzuki, he brings something that Japan typically doesn't have, a power attackman that way. Kenshiro Kuroda shot appeared like it was deflected. And Yamada was critical as Japan ran out the clock yesterday in their 10-8 win against Japan in the final minutes. Atsuka as the D-meaty and Daniel Bowater. Then that shot, easy save for Bidwell Barton. Not a good look by Atsuka. Australia against some light pressure. Bidwell Barton locates the attackman. Moyer subbing on. Australia is in the box. Little transition opportunity. Save is made on Lim. So Ito with 2 early stops. Baker, he's got a short stick on him. Tall attackman Mitchell Baker, a goal and an assist against the United States. And he has been the primary initiator for Australia, as getting a little brush screen is Ethan Buchanan. Moyer set the pick on GLE, and Australia strikes first. Nice subtle pick, and Moyer did well into not exaggerating it and remaining like a statue. So Buchanan with his second goal of the tournament. And he's Australia's youngest player that has fit in. And off the face-off, Japan will come up with it with Yamamoto. Now to the wing, and that shot stopped. Atsuka got the good look. Bidwell Barton takes up a lot of space. Japan has tried to beat him low a couple of times. For Australia, the close D of Brock Gourley, Samuel Bunchis, and Edgar Ford. And the pole has been Thomas Richards. Kaigara. Uta Kaigara. 2 goals and an assist Monday against Puerto Rico. Takes it in. Again, Bidwell Barton to save. Japan will get a second look. Japan had struggled shooting the ball early yesterday against Jamaica, particularly in and around the crease on crease rolls, speed dodges. They made a great adjustment as a team, particularly this player, Sota Hakozaki. And he started to take better angles on his dodges. Now he passes from an angle. Atsuka. Well, Hakozaki perhaps surprising Australia by not taking it to the front. Atsuka, their lefty low to high. Nice finish. Tied at 1. Hakozaki had a path to come out in front. And Australia perhaps caught ball watching in that case. So Atsuka with 4. And Japan for this tournament with 13 different goal scorers, and they come up with another face-off. So what do you know it? Without the outstanding Yusuke Takeda, They're so far winning the face-off battle. And what a battle that must have been Monday against Puerto Rico. Colin Baez dominating Germany for Puerto Rico yesterday. Kaigara. Baez yesterday finished something like 95%. Kuroda. Otsuka. That one brought in by Kuroda, who scored the tying goal yesterday. And Australia will come up with a ground ball. Edgar Ford against pressure. Can one of these teams find something in transition today as perhaps something that swings the game? Samuel Bunches here for Dylan Harari. Australia to Edison Pike. On the field for the first time here is Connor McDonough. His first game in 4 days. He went down against England with what appeared to be a serious knee injury. He is wearing a heavy brace. So Australia, here is McDonough for the first time to Lim, and that's off target. So that's significant for the Aussies. He scored a goal in the opener against Canada. And Australia also expecting to get back tremendous D-Mitty Douglas Brooks today. An inadvertent whistle by the official at the bench. Australia keeps it. Pike, Baker behind the back. Back up to Australia. And we'll get a timeout taken by Japan defensively. So for the Aussies, 2 players set to come back. Granted, nowhere near 100%, but they lose their leading goal scorer, Lucas Kochwara, who went down early in the game against the United States on Monday with a shoulder injury. He leads them with 11 goals. And the Aussies have had to find the next man up to get going. Sota Hakozaki got them going against Jamaica. Trailing 7-3. And here were Hakozaki's goals. He was their main initiator, taking on a big and physical Jamaica defense. And Jamaica, a couple too many fouls that opened up the field a bit for Japan. They are the inside crease roll, and he set up his moves much better in the second half compared to the first. And talking to Naofumi Suzuki, the most satisfying aspect of that game was the way that every possession mattered for Japan, and they again displayed tremendous mental strength, that they never crumbled during that game, just like Monday's victory against Puerto Rico, which was 10-9 the final, that they handled all of it well. They never panicked. They didn't take bad shots out of character when it was 7-3. And Japan made adjustments on their shots, and they pulled out an impressive win over Jamaica. So McDonough remains on, as Japan called the timeout on defense. Lim chased off of his angle by Nakamura. Harari lowers the shoulder. And then Harari, the pickup by Pike. Pike takes it to goal, shot blocked. Small window to shoot. Japan closed it quickly. Harry Gibson on the move. Ito went sprawling, shot is wide. Baker tied up well, then takes it across, missed the shot over the top, and Japan with the catch from behind by Ryuichi Kimura. Transition for Japan. Yugo Tatamatsu. As the drop-off carried through, handled by Ishikawa as he puts on the brakes, and Japan will sub on their first midfield. Well, now Ishikawa takes it and scores! Oh, so much for waiting for the first midfield to come on. 2-1 Japan. Well, Ishikawa noticing that there was no defender behind the D-midi. So he took the path to goal. And the wing again gets the job done. Atsuka shot blocked. Loose ball, Ishikawa. Well, in terms of pace and a recipe for success, this game going in the direction of Japan. Despite Takeda's absence at the face-off X. Japan must keep it in the box. Yamada. Bidwell Barton comes out to hedge. Yamada wants to take on Rubens, the D-midi. Rubens roughs him up. Now Hakozaka. Buchis trying to stay with him in the cat and mouse game. Japan keeps it, final seconds. Off the quick whistle, official time, kept in the field. Kaigara spins into a double, and that's it for the first quarter. Australia eventually got the first goal. Japan has since taken the lead as we go to the second quarter. Compelling quarterfinal has played to that script so far. 2-1 Japan. Buchanan started it. Atsuka from Hakozaki, and then Ishikawa.
second half. Beautiful shot again.
Just happy to be a part of it right now for all the younger generations and hopefully pave the way for them so little girls younger than me can become Olympians.
(2-1) Japan as we start the second quarter. Shots 8-7 Australia. And right here in the face-off X, despite missing terrific face-off man Yusuke Takeda due to illness today, Japan has won 3 out of 4. Their wing players have been excellent. And again, they do that here with Yokokawa. So Japan has made the adjustment, and they go to work, nursing along the 2-1 lead. Kuroda, 2 goals and assist yesterday against Jamaica. Will take the right-hand look as that goes wide. Japan yesterday dodging with courage against Jamaica as they trailed. An impressive display of clutch shooting. Yamada brought them within 8-7. Kuroda got the tying goal. Tanamura, the game winner. And then Kuroda from Ishikawa at 9-8 when you thought with about 3 minutes left, Japan might just take the air out of the ball. They decided to shoot. Here's a skip pass, that's a goal! Kai Tanamura, 3-1. A sharp cross-cage skip pass. The feed from Hakozaki. Great look at that from our crew.
Bring something to the table.
Japan with a face-off win again. Yamamoto. Lin, though, took it away and then shoots. Lim does not have backup, but a good risk to take with Japan not set defensively. Japan has never been to a junior semifinal. It's been the Pool A teams that have long dominated the hierarchy. Of course, led by the US, who's won all 8 previous championships held at the junior level. Canada, Australia, England. Transition, Tatamatsu, and they took the bouncer. Tanamura swings it, weak side, good look. Ishikawa. So Japan with the sweep, and then the weak side pop-out man. That's been there a couple times. Hakozaki met in a hard switch by Rubens. Alec Rubens, a big body two-way midfielder. Hakozaki, again with that speed dodge from behind, misses. Well, Hakozaki has shown he prefers that straight line speed dodge. Not as much in his game in terms of turning corners yet. Hakozaki crease roll, this time inside, stuffed out by Bidwell Barton. Australia nearing 20 minutes of scoreless lacrosse. Lim circles, Moyer again sets a pick. This time Ito was waiting for it on the near pipe. Ball will stay in on this natural grass surface. And the ball went out of bounds, says the official who is right there. Nice throwback by Hiroki Ono. Ono came off the bench. He's a second line midi to score a big goal also against Jamaica. Now stepping in for the shot, and Bidwell Barton the save. Kuroda had a wide open lane from about 9 yards. The crucial stop for Bidwell Barton and Australia. Mitchell Baker organizing. He's been held to a couple of shots. Baker from the angle, Ito the save. So these are okay looks for Australia. Harari, Pike tied up. Ground ball, Tatamatsu. So Australia forcing a couple of things. And Japan at 3-1. The most goals Japan has allowed in this tournament is the 9 against Puerto Rico Monday. Oh no, forced to his right hand. He'll take the shot. Holding the near pipe, Bidwell Barton. Oh no, again Bowater sits on his left. Kaigara. That's a good look. Bidwell Barton the save on Tanamura.
Less than 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first half. Japan still leads 3-1.
Edgar Ford sees the opening. And then Baker the other way. And what Australia is missing from the injured Lucas Kochwara, a very good attackman that can play on the crease or dodge from the wing, and just has a very innate ability of just getting himself open. Not necessarily with speed, but moving off ball. Harari. And in a game like this, you get the sense that they miss him even more. Someone that they can throw the ball to around the painted area, just outside the crease. Now Baker turns. Whoa, that was a rocket. That grazed some pipe. But Japan making Australia work very hard for everything. Lim, again upon the sweep, no opening. The goal by Australia came on a little pick set for Buchanan, right above GLE. This time they get inside for Pike, and Pike misses the look. Chances like that, few and far between for Australia. Good closeout check by Tatamatsu defensively for Japan. Baker, the back down. Subtle check to knock it away. Took a couple of whacks from Nakamura. Now on the inside, Gibson missed the shot, and Japan has back up. Final 2 minutes, first half. Australia scored to make it 1-0 about 5 minutes in. Japan gets timeout. Australia pleading that Japan was offsides. And now Fomi Suzuki will call his second timeout. 1:35 to play. Japan has great history. Johns Hopkins' handprint is all over the history of lacrosse. Back in 1986, it was a few Keio University students that visited the U.S. Embassy that year to express interest in the game. They had seen some VHS video of it, and that's where the movement began. And the longtime director of athletics at Johns Hopkins, Bob Scott, donated sticks to Japan, and the Japanese Lacrosse Association was formed immediately, less than a year later. Then in '87, Hopkins men's coach Don Zimmerman held a lacrosse camp in Japan. That was the very first. And the very first game, Yokota defeated Keio University in the first ever game played in the island of Japan. There's Lucas Kochwara with his injury, of course, the many islands of Japan, but it was the first ever game played on one of them. So Kochwara's shooting and efficiency so missed today by the Aussies. And his high lacrosse IQ, and he was just starting to get, I'd say, into a great rhythm with the rest of the attack of Mitchell Baker. And I think Australia will always wonder what could have been had they had a healthy Kochwara and Connor McDonough for the entirety of this tournament. But injuries are part of tournaments. Japan missing Takeda today. The United States, they've dealt with injuries themselves. And getting to the finish line to Saturday over the course of 10 days is the trick of getting there as you're peaking. And peaking in terms of gameplay and physically. Managing minutes and what you do behind the scenes with your, whether it's your days off, your pregame warm-ups, your off-day practices, how hard do the players get pushed? And you need your entire roster to contribute. It's a keep it in the box now against Japan for the final minute of the first half. Hakozaki losing it as Ford jabbed it from him, out of bounds to Australia. Let's see if Australia can push. Brock Gorley. Ahead it comes, Buchanan for McDonough. And Australia will take the timeout here. So this allows Japan to get set defensively. Clock shows 22.7 left. Australia losing to the United States last time out on Monday. Let's show you their couple of goals. I think Ethan Moyer will never forget that one. His first goal in an international tournament comes against the US. Then this was nifty. The feed there by Buchanan to locate Mitchell Baker, who finished with 1-1. As the United States dominated the face-off X, and their quick ball movements overwhelmed the Aussies. Travis Wolf had started in goal for Australia, making 5 saves before Bidwell Barton played the fourth quarter as a tune-up. So as Gavin Levy gathers his team together, Mark Mangan is offensive coordinator, who played for the U19 Australia team back in 1992. And they believe in establishing guidelines of freedom, but they've had to make subtle adjustments to it as personnel has moved in and out. So they start with Buchanan sweeping. Moyer rolls back. Big goal for Australia. Ethan Moyer, 3-2. Crucial goal here for Moyer to score with his offhand. From the Phoenix Lacrosse Club in Western Australia. So as he continues to gain confidence, what a big one that is. He made this roster initially at the age of 17 years old. And Gavin Levy and staff love his toughness despite his youth. They expected if there was a tournament in 2020, he would have handled himself well physically in Pool A as a 17-year-old. Hold against Japan. Australia, can they get another look? Rubins down to the crease, and it's knocked down by Tatamatsu. But Australia gets a late goal. And it's a 3-2 Japan lead at halftime. This one remains very compelling, with the winner advancing to tomorrow's semifinal against either Canada or Ireland. We're back to show you first half highlights and statistics from Limerick, Ireland on ESPN+.
It's coming. The world is coming to San Diego. 30 nations, 30 teams. Only one will be crowned world champion. There's nothing like playing for your country. This is the pinnacle of sport. Be here as legacies are forged and history is made.
Well, we are lined up for a great finish here in Limerick, Ireland. It's halftime, where Japan, winners out of Pool B 4-0, lead Australia out of Pool A 3-2. Let's show you our first half highlights. About 5 minutes in, Ethan Buchanan got a little screen from Ethan Moyer there at GLE. But then Atsuka from Hakozaki tied it at 1. This would be a shot from Ryuta Ishikawa to give Japan the lead 2-1 after 1. Then the nice razor-sharp skip pass to Tanamura made it 3-1. And then late first half, individual roll dodge there from the left angle with his offhand. Ethan Moyer makes it a 3-2 game. Japan with the lead over Australia, with a berth in the semifinals for the first time as a nation at stake.
Fasten your seatbelt.
The game you've always loved just found a new gear.
Introducing World Lacrosse Sixes.
It's speed and scoring,
Tempo and transition.
athleticism and action.
It's big-time energy packed onto a smaller playing surface.
It's the game you've always loved, brought to you at warp speed.
It's lacrosse on the Autobahn.
Don't blink. This is World Lacrosse Sixes.
Shot 16-15 for Japan, and also notable for Japan, they've won 5 of 7 faceoffs without one of the top faceoff men in this tournament in Yusuke Takeda, who is out with illness. 3-2's our score, and also Shun Ito has come up with 5 saves. Again, this one feels like it's going to come right down to the wire. Can Australia unlock Japan's defense? Can Japan make it to the semifinals for the first time at the junior level? Third quarter coming up from Limerick. 3-2 Japan. We'll see what kind of adjustments Australia will make. And for Japan, they've been able to have this game under their control with face-offs, tempo, and they have forced Australia to work very hard to get shots. This time we'll see Edgar Ford face off against the fellow Pole of Japan and Taisei Chikakane. Australia's two face-off guys here in the trip, and Aaron Hill and Ron Gavori. So the first priority perhaps for Gavin Levy is to change this up now. And it's been the wing play predominantly of Japan that's won them 5 of 7. Ford is held up as he tries to get by. And it'll be Australia possession. So the hold called against Chikakane, holding up Ford as he tried to get through. Fine defense by Ray Yamamoto, not biting on any moves from Harry Gibson. As Baker tried to set a little brush screen, but Sodayama not having any of it. Lim popping out, jump shot, Gibson! That ball appeared to deflect on the way in. 3-all. See what happened there. I think that came off the stick of Chikakane. So Gibson, the goal, his first of the tournament, to go along with an assist. Big lacrosse family. Older brother Cal Gibson also plays in the United States as a junior attackman at Division II Coker College in South Carolina. Ford. So Australia has won the first 2 of the third since Ford has come in. As Australia hunts for the lead. They led 1-0 5 minutes in. Harari has the cutter, that was Lim. I think the trail check from Nakamura prevented the shot from being completed to Lim's stick. Here comes Yokokawa. So Japan with possession for the first time in the second half. Shuhei Otsuka. Japan will bring back their first midfield of Kaigara, the big guy Yamada, and Tanamura, the lefty. Yamada taking on Harari, sees the path to goal. Well, he loves to bulldodge and play with physicality. That's what got him put on this Japan team, that different element. 4-3. And his unique skill set to this program has forced him to play somewhere. They've put him at midfield predominantly. Back-to-back games with a goal for Tetsuya Yamada. Alexander Rubens follows up with a face-off win off the wing. And Rubens shooting on the move. He knew he had backup. There's a good cut at Baker, missed a wide open look. Feet coming from Gibson, they freed up Baker with a high pick. And against Japan, you have to hit those. Moyer cut off there again. Kumura, the D-midi. Sodoyama, the ground ball. Sodoyama, he then loses his stick on the check coming from Bunchis. And playing without the stick for Japan. Australia has it. Here's Connor McDonough again. Hasn't shot or carried the ball much, but he is a lefty, capable shooter. That shot by Pike from an angle. Rather, Mitchell Baker. Pike got free. Bouncer is off, recovered by Baker. We're tied at 4. Well, this bouncer off cage, it ends up as a pass. Australia has worked so hard to try to free up Dodgers from behind. And Pike is fortunate to get the brush screen there, and that little window has been a rarity. Procedure against Ford. And for the first time, Hiroki Ono. A short stick faced off for Japan. Ito. And Shun Ito shows good composure. Then that pass, bothered by Gibson. Japan turns it over. Unsettled. Buchanan looking for the cutter, Gibson. And the pass could not be completed. Good defending by Kai Tanamura to recover back. Yamada back on the field. This time the more physical Alexander Rubens is matched up. Couple of bumper cars here. Yamada goes around him. Well, Rubens just missed on the defense. Yamada with consecutive goals. Japan in front again. See what happened to Rubens. And perhaps Yamada surprising him with his first two powerful steps. Face-off win cleanly. Hiroki Ono charges ahead. Atsuka to his right, hits pipe. The ball out to Australia in a fortunate break for the Crocodiles. So this game has opened up offensively. We had a 3-2 score at halftime. Japan has simply put the ball in the stick of Tetsuya Yamada and told him to go. While Australia has gotten, I'd say, better angles and better dodges that created their 2 goals. Gibson on the back end, took on the D-mid, he save made, open net. In the crease, off the crease roll by Gibson, that took the shot away from Moyer. As Japan has it, they turned it over for the first time in the clear moments ago. Australia will challenge Ito to make the run. And Sodayama to the stick of Kuroda. Now Tom Richards to deal with Yamada. Here's Kaigara working on Bowater, who cuts him off. Kaigara again, set up his dodge. Dodging and re-dodging multiple times. Subtle steps followed by explosion. Japan by 2 again. Now Fumi Suzuki, when talking about Uta, describes him as he is our most different dodger because he both has quickness and courage to shoot through gaps. He'll deal with contact. He welcomes it. In some ways, a smaller version of Yamada. Yamada doesn't bring that kind of level quickness. Kaigara does from a smaller stature. Yamamoto. He's got it off the wing of the faceoff. Final 10 seconds, third quarter. And Japan just trying to avoid a turnover here. After Australia had tied it at 3 and 4. Yamada and Kaigara stepping up with goals. Japan looking to break through and reach their first semifinal at the junior level. 6-4 Japan as we head to the fourth. What a next 15 minutes we have in store for you. I can't wait. We're back to Limerick on ESPN+.
Have you booked that trip to Ireland yet?
Press the green button and visit the island of Ireland. See Ireland.com.
6-4 Japan. Fourth quarter about to get underway here from Ireland on a very sunny morning. Temperatures in the low 60s. Fortunately, no wind and no precipitation. Rain expected tonight. Maybe that affects the fields for tomorrow. Edgar Ford continues to face off at the pole for Australia against Taisei Chikakane of Japan. And how good has Rikuto Yokokawa been off the wing for Japan? Face-offs now 8 out of 14. Japan by 2. And just to correct myself, for Japan, should they hold on here, it would be their second ever semifinal appearance. In In 2012, they had advanced. They were in Pool A at the time, and they lost to the United States in that year's semifinals. Those took place in Coquitlam in British Columbia, Canada. Hakozaki was quiet in the third quarter. Japan has also been to one senior national semifinal. That was in 2010. They had defeated the Netherlands in a quarterfinal and again lost to the United States in the semis. Hakozaki, he missed a great look. There was no one in front of the crease, and he continues to love those straight line drives and fadeaway shots. Bidwell Barton the save on Atsuka. And a good clear thrown by Bidwell Barton. Rare chance for transition as Rubens fires. Well, there were options there for Alexander Rubens. Australia had trailed 3-1 early second quarter before coming back to tie it at 3 and then at 4. That was Buchanan. That took a little bit of a jab check to poke it free. Connor McDonough, he makes the pass and the goal. Backdoor cut, Harry Gibson. His first 2 goals of the tournament have come here in a quarterfinal.
Australian Tornadoes was 5-6 under Japan with just under 12 minutes left in the game.
So Australia having others step up, and how about the toughness from Connor McDonough? He was on crutches in game 2, getting hurt against England with a right knee injury. He came to the 5-day training camp for selection in January of 2020, and then did not see the Australians again until they arrived in Ireland for a little mini training camp. Face off for Ray Yamamoto. Yamamoto again against pressure, and it's knocked out of bounds by Edgar Ford. So the Australians a chance to tie. Connor McDonough remains out there. McDonough with great Australian lineage. Dad had played professional basketball in Australia after playing lacrosse and basketball at Division II Westchester in Pennsylvania. Dylan Harari. Baker wants to clear out. He's got the cutting. McDonough! It stayed out. Flag is out though. And here is the game's first penalty. An illegal body check for a minute against Japan. Taisei Chikakane, the long pole, is sent off. McDonough McDonough scores at his return. Australia has gotten even at 6. You wonder how he is feeling. He went through the ACL tests, that passed, but he is a speed player that right now is gritting his teeth and giving Australia all that he can give them. And his grandparents, who still live in Perth, perhaps watching, understanding that he is digging very deep. Timeout taken here by Australia to preserve the remainder of this man up. McDonough has yet to play in a game in his 2 years at Towson. Also with one of those seasons riddled due to injury. But when you're here, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. McDonough from New Jersey's Morristown High School, just outside of Philadelphia. High school teammates with the United States' Shane Knobloch, where those two led the Quakers to 2 Group 3 state championships and the Tournament of Champions final. Australia will go back to their pole in Hirotoshi Yoshimura rather than Chikakane. So we've seen 4 different players for Japan face off, and here is the return of Douglas Brooks. He was cleared to go after a shoulder separation. McDonough with the knee injury. Big face-off win there. Still some time on man up. Can Australia get a look? McDonough on the wing. Pike moves inside. Lim from distance, saved by Ito. So Australia didn't have or create any better options. That's a nice save off the sideline. Japan overruns it, and it'll be, well, it was going to be Buchanan before Ethan finally has it. Tense moments here as we're gonna hit 8 minutes remaining. Connor McDonough with a goal and an assist since re-entering early 4th quarter for the Aussies. Baker rolls back, crease wall, fake, Australia leads! Well, Japan has handled Baker's crease rolls and Pike's crease rolls so well today. One of maybe a couple of times where an Aussie has set it up perfectly and gotten a good look off of that. And Baker able to use his height and extension. He's got 2 goals here. 7 minutes to go. Face off Hiroki Ono. And Edgar Ford, ranging inside his own restraining line, comes up with the face-off. Well, 6.5 left. Once again, there is no shot clock in the international game. And we've seen teams, particularly in the United States, in the NCAA without a shot clock, in effect take a knee and run out the clock with even more time than this. How will the Aussies play it? Baker has the cut. McDonough! They shoot to score. Timeout taken. Connor McDonough gutting out an epic performance. He may not be 100% with speed, but the timing of his cuts creates separation. He's got 2 goals and an assist in this 4th quarter. 4 days between games. He was standing on the sideline. He wasn't warming up at all in the last 3 games. Got to move around a little bit yesterday. Gavin Levy wondered, would we use him just as a man-up guy, perhaps? We saw him for a stretch in the 2nd quarter, 6-on-6. Just to kind of get his feet wet again. I can't remember seeing him in the 3rd quarter, and then to come back out, and I think he's played about 8 consecutive minutes. So who knows how that knee is feeling. And meanwhile for Japan's Naofumi Suzuki, now trailing by 2. Japan is not a quick transition team. They prefer to be deliberate and set up the offense. Ford. And again, that's Yokokawa. His effort off the wings has been sublime. And he's been a magnet forward for Japan. So Japan will go back to having Yamada and Tanemura and 17 Kuroda, their first midfield. And will they get Hakozaki involved? They start 2-man game. Kuroda. Kuroda on Brooks, shot over the crane, over the cage, and he was wiped out with a hard closeout coming from Bunchis. Hakozaki, stop, shoots. That one somehow stayed out. And Bidwell Barton rumbles to the end line. He gets back up. He may have kicked it out. Josiah Bidwell Barton, someone that Gavin Levy says, we try to rattle him, we can't. He always stays intense, but at the same time remains composed. He looked around and realized, let me just go run and get back up. Buchanan the clear, 3:40 left. So how long until Japan starts to extend out? Gibson's pass away from Baker. And in between hop and 3 minutes to go, Japan gets a break. So Nakamura the other way. Shun Ito gets the clear, timeout Japan. So now Fumi Suzuki has none left. You get 2 timeouts a half. Josiah Bidwell Barton making the critical stop on the other end to keep it a 2-goal game. Let's see how it stayed out. This was Hakozaka, who had a little time. I still don't know. Perhaps off the heel of Bidwell Barton. And he may need another couple saves to finish this one out. And Jose has been so dedicated coming up through the Subiaco Lacrosse Club. Not a big one. Playing for a lacrosse club as he was originally from Victoria. Now he lives in Western Australia. And he played for a club that wasn't very high level. And he always played, Gavin Levy described, no matter how bad the score was, he was always playing as if it was 0-0. They're trying to be the anchor of a team. And now he is about to face some pressure shots. Australia to try to return to the semifinals. Japan has only been there once before in 2008. This is the 9th ever junior lacrosse tournament, with this tournament beginning in 1992. Kuroda. Hitching right, Kaigara. Ford on the hard hedge. Great separation, Kaigara, and again the ball stays out. Australia, the ground ball behind from Richards. And they are 2 minutes away from advancing. As Australia clogs up midfield, they have a chance at a vital ground ball. And they scoop it up and grab it here by Yoshimura, and he is checked. And the physicality of Australia wins them the ball back. Japan led 6-4 at the end of 3. There's a knockdown by Tatamatsu. Gorley eventually gets it ahead to McDonough. And Mitchell Baker will take it behind with 1 minute left. Now Japan's Ito out of cage. Baker. Well, did Australia get the timeout first? Gavin Levy and coaching staff pleading to the official that they did. Our officials will get together along with defensive coordinator Craig Schicker, yelling over to the 4th official. They were not granted the timeout. So with 44.7, Japan will have another chance to get the next one to set up a potential face-off. Ito, a lot of time coming off the clock here for Japan. Tatamatsu, and you've got to attack this ride. Tatamatsu does. Richards knocks his stick out of his hands. It comes to Ishikawa. Final seconds. Ishikawa shot wide. Japan has backup. Clock stops. Stadium clock at 9.2. Now the whistle. That pass over the head of Atsuka, and time will run out. A .4 showing. And that's it. Australia celebrates. Edgar Ford critical in the face-off X in the second half. Connor McDonough digging deep, playing hurt with 2 goals and an assist in the fourth quarter. Australia comes back out of a 6-4 deficit, and they shut out Japan for the final 15 minutes behind Josiah Bidwell-Barton. He kept the ball out on a couple of big pressure shots. Well, what a game this was. This was a Gibson goal that tied the score up at 3 early third quarter. Yamada putting Japan ahead 4-3. Edison Pike shot off on the bouncer. Baker is there to put it away. Tied at 4. Yamada, a freight train to goal. With Japan leading, similar from Kaigara. 6-4 to the fourth. And then Australia. McDonough from Mitchell Baker. That would make it 8-6. And Australia hangs on and wins. Australia advances to tomorrow's semifinal. They'll take on either Canada or Ireland. Australia facing big adversity today. Great respect for Japan's defense. The return of Connor McDonough and Douglas Brooks playing without Lucas Kochwara on the attack. They found a way. A look at our final numbers. 8 stops from Josiah Bidwell-Barton. Ito was fine in goal as well for Japan. So the Aussies move along, and Japan will look for placement here in the consolation portion of the champions bracket. Canada and Ireland is coming up 1 o'clock local time in Limerick. Why don't you join us then for our entire crew, our director, Mikey O'Sullivan. My name is Ralph Bednarczyk saying so long and goodbye for now for the men's under-21 World Lacrosse Championship on ESPN.